In my last video, I revealed the design for my Freelance Blue Ridge and Western Railroad that I'm working on. Today, I'm going to be going over some of the things that I considered when designing the railroad and showing you how you can use these things to create your own freelance railroad. Special thank you to these model railroad businesses for supporting the channel. You can check them out at the end of this video for some cool discount codes. Hey everybody, my name's Jimmy. Welcome to Coffee and Trains. Today just drinking whatever was in the coffee pot, frankly. If you want to tell me what kind of coffee you are drinking and have it featured just like these guys right here, you can leave that in the comments below, and who knows, you might see your name pop up on an episode of Coffee and Trains. Cheers, guys. So you've had this idea for a model railroad all your own. It would be inspired by some of your favorite locations. You've always wanted a model railroad that had many of these locations in it. The problem is that there are no real railroads that go through those locations, so you're going to have to freelance. Now, what is a freelance railroad? Well, it's basically a completely fictional line or railroad, and there's two basic ways to create a freelance railroad. The first is to create a fictional division of a real railroad. So you could have, for example, Union Pacific or Norfolk Southern trains running through a completely fictional landscape that isn't based on anything. This has the big benefit of being able to use stock locomotives and rolling stock that already exists, which means you just have to do some custom towns and industries as well as the scenery, and you don't have to worry about fiddling with custom decals and paint jobs on locomotives. The second method is to create an entire railroad from scratch, which is what I am doing with the Blue Ridge and Western. This is definitely more difficult because you are talking about custom paint and decals for locomotives and rolling stock. The big benefit of this is that you can build an entire world of what if with this. You can do things like I have done. Rather than having short lines being abandoned in the western North Carolina region, they all merged into a large Class II railroad that spans multiple states. Or you can go the route of a small short line. This is what a lot of people do when they create a freelance railroad company. These are simple to model railroads who have done this with great results. It's really up to you. Now, once you have decided on what type of freelance railroad you want to do, then you need to decide on what it does. Railroads serve a purpose. That purpose is usually to move goods, materials, and or people from one location to another. This could be deliveries to materials, passenger train services, you name it. The railroad needs a purpose. For example, the Blue Ridge and Western is going to be a big gypsum and aggregate hauler as well as timber products, and it's going to be maintaining the route for other railroads that use the trackage that they own. What your railroad does will heavily influence what type of power and rolling stock it has. You're not going to see the top of the line brand new locomotives on a small Class 3 railroad. And you're not going to see a ton of boxcars on a coal hauling road. Let's start with locomotives. Locomotives change hands a lot in their lifetimes. You will seldomly see large locomotives go to small short lines brand new. This is also why you see locomotives that are 30, 40, 50 years old, even older, working these short lines. Locomotives are expensive, so extending their life is a worthwhile investment. This is why rebuilt locomotives are such a popular thing. For my railroad, I've decided to take the approach that the Blue Ridge and Western, when it was trying to modernize its fleet, took the opportunity that was the dissolving of Conrail to pick up as many old Conrail units as possible to supplement and somewhat modernize its fleet. Because of this, the majority of the locomotives are going to be Conrail blue. In the real world, this makes sense. It's easier to repaint and re-logo locomotives for the railroad. Next up, let's look at rolling stock. You'll need to look at what the industries you're putting on your railroad need. Do they need chemicals, plastics, wood, rock, minerals, other consumables? These materials need all sorts of different car types, everything from tank cars to covered hoppers to open hoppers, box cars, flat cars. Some of the industries could need multiple types of cars. You could be sending in chemicals and plastics to a factory and shipping things out via boxcar. These are all things that you need to think about. Next, it's how the railroad interacts with the rest of the world. Your railroad will be taking goods to another railroad or at least an off layout location. Does this mean you are heading to a yard with a junction, or is it simply an interchange track? Either way, you need to think about this when it comes to track planning. Most short lines are just one or two lines of track that service several industries. How is that connecting with the main rail network? Do you need to have yards, or will the occasional sidings be fine? How much can your industries hold? Where would you put extras that were delivered early? This is more of food for thought for doing your track plan, but it's a good thing to think about. Building a freelance railroad can be a ton of fun and a great way to express some creativity in your model railroad. And remember, this is a rabbit hole like many other things in this hobby, that you can go as far down as you want. There are people that have gone really far down the rabbit hole and created these massive short lines and fictional railroads and freelance railroads that you would not believe that for a while that I thought they were the real thing. Before we go, check out some of these cool model railroad businesses.
Mini Prints creates 3D printed detail parts, figures, and animals that make your model railroad layout come alive. Get 15% off with code DIY15 at miniprints.com, because it's the little things that matter most. Trains in the Valley. Trains in the Valley is a model train shop located in Pennsylvania. They sell new and used model trains with a mission to make trains accessible to everyone. You can check them out at trainsinthevalley.com, link in the description. Penguin 3D Workshop offers 3D prints and electronics for model railroading, specializing in hard or impossible to find train parts, and they also offer custom designing and printing. Use promo code DDRR5OFF to get 5% off your order. Model Railway Backshop is a great place if you're looking for a quality paint job for your old or new brass model locomotive. If you're looking to get that brass model weathered, you can get that done too. And right now you can get 10% off any brass model painting and weathering job by using the promo code NMRA10. Check them out at modelrailwaybackshop.com.
Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, drink some coffee, and happy railroading.